Welcome to the Rocket Right Show, starring Hurricane Betsy Barnes and Dr. K. Solar. Two busy blondes with their fingers on the pulse of all things Louisiana. Events, health, leisure, entertainment, and more. It's the Rocket Right Show. And now, here's Betsy and Kay.
Well, hello. We are so glad that you could join us for the next, hour or so. As you see, I'm solo. Dr. K. Solar is in Nashville. Her son, CJ Solar, has a huge virtual concert, and we'll put that information on the Rocket Right Facebook page. But we have a great show. I planned very well. Me and the guys, I have a few of my guy friends who are sharing some really good things going on in and around the greater Baton Rouge area. For those of you who have been through Hurricane Laura, Hurricane Delta, we are praying for your recovery and doing whatever we can do to support and help you from all over the state and the country. And we just appreciate those people that have come from outside of Louisiana to share some love with those of us in Louisiana who really need some help after this pandemic, hurricane. So I want to let you know a little bit about the show, but first I want to thank our sponsors. Our studio is sponsored by Partners One, Better Barter for Baton Rouge, with 700 members all across the greater Baton Rouge, 9-parish area, but over 4,000 across the southeast. So we'd love to share some information with you about that, and you can find them at partnersone.com. And so tonight we have James Lee, who is the Deputy State Director of Americans for Prosperity. And we're not talking about one party or another. We're talking about bipartisan efforts to be aware of what is on your ballot, who and what you're going to be voting for. And James is going to share a little bit about what they do to educate voters all across the state and the nation. We also have Bill Sherman. He is going to be talking about family services for Greater Baton Rouge. They have a fundraising golf tournament coming up, but they provide some wonderful services for people that really need it. And don't we all need some help now and then? And then John Price, who's the Executive Director of the Iris Domestic Abuse Center, is going to be here. And really, Iris does some beautiful work and helps people rebuild and really reconnect with their life as it should be after they've gone through domestic violence. And so John has some things that he wants to share with us during Domestic Abuse Awareness Month. And then also we have Debbie Gautreau Traylor. And you may be familiar with Debbie for all the years that she has been in the music industry. She's a singer, songwriter. She's been very instrumental in the formation and the promotion of the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. And she has a new song and video out about the United States of America that's very patriotic. So it's very fitting that we start talking about what people need to know on their ballot and some of the things that they need to be concerned about. And we're going to end with some patriotic music and some of the things we can do to promote Louisiana. So thank you so much, James Lee, Deputy Executive Director of Prosperity for America. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Americans for Prosperity. We all need prosperity.
We're trying.
We all want to know what it is that we need to do to move our state forward after all the additional difficulties that we've had. And we have a huge election coming up very soon. And there's a lot of things on the ballot that people may or may not be aware of. But you and I have known each other for a number of years. I've been to some of the different events that y'all have put on to bring voters into a better state of awareness. And with all the 3 million plus voters that we have, it's really important for people to be informed. So share with us a little bit about exactly what Americans for Prosperity do and what you need to share with voters now.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, Betsy, thanks for having me on my first TV interview, as you know.
Well, you've been on the radio show with us, so we're glad that you're going with us into TV too.
Absolutely. I think you were my first radio. Very happy to have you as my first TV.
Thank you.
And so grateful to be here tonight, as you said, with very important things coming up in the state of Louisiana. And first, I'd like to share with the viewers a little bit about Americans for Prosperity Louisiana and what we do. So our mission is to engage and mobilize Louisianans, movements of Louisianans around changing the culture in the state first. That's so critical, but also changing public policy in a way that allows Louisianans to realize their full potential. You alluded to it in the intro, before COVID-19 and the shutdowns that we experienced, there were a lot of challenges facing Louisiana. I think U.S. News and World Report for 2 years in a row ranked us number 50 out of 51 states in the nation overall. And if you look at important things like opportunity, like education, like healthcare, we're consistently in the bottom 45 to 50. And there's so many challenges facing Louisianans, and for years and years there's been an effort to change public policy in the state. But what people haven't really done is mobilize the citizens of this state and mobilize them around changing the culture of people that to look for public policy solutions based around freedom, not based around the government coming in. Ever since you look back to the Huey Long era, citizens in Louisiana, we've always looked to the government for the solutions to our problems, and look where it's gotten us. We're 48th in education, we're 50th in opportunity, we're 43rd in budget stability. And those are all important factors that lead to Louisiana being the state that has one of the highest rates of outmigration in the country. And it's a real shame because we're a beautiful state. You work in the Lieutenant Governor's office. You get to promote this every day. We're a beautiful state. We're filled with such great people, such great outdoors, so many great things going on in Louisiana.
We love our state, and when you say change culture, you don't mean our food, our music, our art. You mean the ability for people to understand the power that they have within a system that is based on our Constitution.
Absolutely. I would never want to change the culture of Louisiana. Like, I'm born and raised in New Orleans, love the state, love the people, love the food, love everything about our state, except for our political climate, except for our public policy climate. And we've tried and tried and tried for years, going back decades. Organizations and individuals have tried to change the public policy outlook in this state, but we haven't gotten the citizens involved enough. The citizens, because we have such great food, because we have such a great outdoors, because hunting and fishing is so great here, the citizens of the state, things are going well enough. LSU football did really well last year.
We did the best we could have possibly done.
National championship, undefeated. Verdict's still out on this year, but things are going well when football is going well. Things are going well when we have a good hunting season, when we have a good fishing season. But at the end of the day, that doesn't change the fact that so many Louisianans have to make that tough choice to move out of state. And that's what the real shame that we're trying to fix is because I know for myself, I've considered going to other places for better opportunities. I know so many friends and family who have gone to other places for better opportunities, and it kills every single one of them. It kills every single person that even thinks about it, to think about leaving behind the culture and the people of Louisiana. And so we want to create a Louisiana where everybody feels empowered to realize their full potential here, not in Texas, not in Florida, not in South Carolina, not in Tennessee or North Carolina, the states that are taking so many Louisianans from us that we love and that we want back desperately, but that the political climate in the state and the public policy in the state is driving away.
Well, it's very hard. I've moved away twice and come back because there's no place like home. But it's very hard if you keep doing the same thing the same way and you don't get the positive results and you sort of just kick the can, it really doesn't yield itself to new ideas, new innovation, new technology. And there are so many companies that truly could find a good home here in Louisiana.
Absolutely.
But it's very hard to get those companies to come here when other states compete in a little more competitive way. And so unfortunately, we find ourselves in this repeated cycle of, there is no state in America where people could enjoy the people more than they could enjoy us. However, we sometimes shoot ourselves in the foot if we want to do it the same old way because we've always done it that way. One of the things I learned from living in other states was, well, we've never done it that way, let's try it. Yep. And here it's like, well, we've never done it that way, maybe we shouldn't. In some of the different things. We have, so many people that are incarcerated. We have such high teen pregnancy rates. We have such a high number of people that are abused. We'll talk about that a little bit later with John Price with the Iris Domestic Violence Center. But, there's so many ways that we can truly empower people to have better opportunities. They just need to believe they can.
Absolutely. And your story of leaving and coming back twice reminds me of one of my friends that left and lived in DC for over 25 years. And he told me, he said, when you met a fellow Louisianan in DC, the question wasn't, why'd you leave? Or do you want to go back? It was, how do you plan to get back?
Yeah, that's right.
Because so many people leave. They don't leave because they want to leave Louisiana. They leave because of the lack of opportunity here. They leave because of the education system, and they want to go somewhere that they can provide a better education for their kids, where they can provide better for their families with a better job. And you mentioned we never try things a different way. You're absolutely correct. We have so many issues in this state. One of the things that we talk a lot about, you mentioned the incarceration rate. We have the highest incarceration rate in the country. In the country that has the highest incarceration rate in the world. And you would think if we're incarcerating so many people, either one of two things. One, are Louisianans just that bad that we're criminal? That so many of us are criminals?
No.
Or two, are we doing it wrong? Because we still have one of the highest crime rates in the country, despite having one of the highest incarceration rates. And so that's one of the issues that we work a lot on, that we're very passionate about at Americans for Prosperity Louisiana, is looking at what are the things that we're doing in the criminal justice system that lead people to go into it and reoffend. We aren't rehabilitating people. We aren't investing in people while they're in prison. You know, over 80% of prisoners will get out one day. And that's not a bad thing. We're Christians in the state. We believe in redemption. And we really want to make sure that when people are going through that system, that we're redeeming them, so when they come out, they're productive members of society. And that's something that Louisiana does more poorly than other conservative southern states like Texas, Florida, and South Carolina.
Sure. Now, we only have about a minute left, but Amendment 4 is something that Americans for Prosperity are. Give us a real brief little intro about Amendment 4, and then how people can find out more information.
Absolutely. So Amendment 4 is on our ballot this fall. Louisianans every year don't know what's on their ballot for the constitutional amendments. We always have so many of them. This is one that, if you remember the fiscal cliffs of 2015, 2016, and the years before that, the budget crises that we've faced as a state year after year, this is going to reset and reduce our state's expenditure limit so that legislators can responsibly plan for our budget. It's going to base the growth of our budget on important factors like population growth, growth in state GDP, growth in our regional inflation rate, and the growth in state income, whereas right now it's only based on the growth in state income. And so that's led to many issues where the spending limit, the expenditure limit in the state is significantly higher than an amount we could ever spend. It would be like if I said my personal household expenditure limit is $2 million, but I only brought in $30,000. No matter how hard I try, unless I want to get into a heck of a lot of debt, I'm not spending $2 million, even if that's what my limit is. And so we encourage Louisianans to vote yes on Amendment 4 for predictability, for responsibility, for stability, and we all know that businesses look for that when they're deciding where to invest, and we know that bringing that stability and predictability will bring job growth to our state.
Well, James Lee, Americans for Prosperity, thank you for being with us, americansforprosperity.org. And we'll be right back with Bill Sherman.
Thank you so much for having me.
Y'all, I'm Amanda Shaw. We all know Louisiana is as fun as all get out. So get out, take a road trip, and explore our state. Fill her up, then try a new restaurant that's as fun-loving as it is food-loving. Grab the family and take off for monumental adventures at our 21 state parks, or take a magical minivan tour along our 19 scenic trails and byways. Louisiana's a trip. Take one today.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaStaycation.com. Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. I've had my fair share of experiences with disasters, and I know Louisianans helping one another is as much a part of our culture as gumbo and Mardi Gras. When it comes to disasters, you can help your community most by getting trained as a volunteer to help with the disaster recovery. For more information about this, visit the websites below and be prepared.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Bugg Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Bugg Show. The only thing missing is you.
Hi, I'm Tony Acord with Southern Heirs Auction, Dental Springs, Louisiana. My name is Tony Acord with Southern Heirs Auction Company in Dental Springs, Louisiana. We've been professional estate liquidators for over 30 years. Please take time to join us for our weekly online sales on Facebook. If you need help, hit us up. We are often imitated but never duplicated. www.southernheirs.com or Facebook at Southern Heirs Auction. 500, but a good 4, but a good 300, a good 200, a good 2. I got 100 and a half, 100 and a half, 170.
And welcome back to Rock It Right. I'm Betsy Barnes, flying solo. Dr. K. Solar is in Nashville, helping her son get ready for a very big virtual concert. You can go to our Facebook page at Rock It Right Radio, and then you'll be able to get all the details. You can get a $5 ticket, a $25 ticket, a $40 ticket, a $60 ticket, and it's sold. And then you can, and then you can see CJ Solar and even have him do a little virtual picture and a shout out with you. So we want to promote our Louisiana musicians. Later in the show, we're going to have Debbie Gautreau Traylor talking about just that. And right before Debbie, we're going to have John Price. We're going to be talking about October as Domestic Abuse Awareness Month and the Iris Domestic Violence Center and some of the great things that they do. But right now, I've got Bill Sherman. And you're going to have to wait a second to hear what Bill's here to talk about, because first I have to thank our sponsor, Selassie's Jewelry and Fine Gifts. I want you to look at this absolutely gorgeous emerald green, but it's not emerald. It's chromium dioxide in white gold, earrings, ring with diamonds, and necklace. It is absolutely stunning. And in case you don't know, there is no woman that does not look good in brand new jewelry. So just start thinking about Christmas, because it's time, and you know somebody you love has a birthday. So I'm just saying, Selassie's Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the Antique District of Denham Springs. It is a Main Street district, and we know all about that, don't we, Bill Sherman?
We do.
So without further ado, let me introduce you to my good friend, Bill Sherman. Thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So Bill is the Multimedia Director and Deputy Communications Director for Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser's office. However, in his spare time, Bill does a lot of things in the Baton Rouge community to help a lot of great organizations. And the one that he is here tonight to share with us is Family Services of Greater Baton Rouge. Tell me, Bill, what do they do and how can we have fun supporting Family Services with you?
Sure, Betsy. Family Service of Greater Baton Rouge serves 7 parishes around Baton Rouge, so it's a little bit of a misnomer about Greater Baton Rouge, because it serves families, individuals all the way from Point Capee down to St. James Parish and 5 other parishes in between. But Family Service of Greater Baton Rouge is all about helping families, helping individuals through counseling and therapies and other workshops in order to improve their quality of life. And so some of the aspects or components are domestic abuse prevention, financial aid workshops, there's HIV assessments, HIV prevention programs, there's counseling, family counseling, individual counseling, therapy. If you have a little one that's giving you trouble at school, this Family Service of Greater Baton Rouge will help you with that. So there's probably about 12 programs within Family Service of Greater Baton Rouge. Like I said, 7 parishes. It's a 501c3. They have a staff of about 22 counselors, all social workers. They also work with Tulane, LSU Southern as far as some of their social work programs and internships.
Great training ground.
All about helping people. And right now, people need help.
People need help like never before. So there's a lot of people that are going through financial difficulty that maybe never needed help before. There's people that are going through a lot of depression. There's a lot of alcohol abuse. Sure. There's a lot of new parents who have never been parents before, and we're parents, and we know that that's challenging. Our boys are a little bit older, but sometimes you just need somebody to encourage you and to lift you up and to give you maybe a better way to handle a situation, and that's what they do. And so they've been around a long time. since 1955.
Something like in the mid-50s, and I think it was begun out of a commission way back in the 50s to serve the need that was underserved at the time. You know, and it's for regular residents, and sometimes you can throw that word out there for underserved or at risk, but for anybody in Baton Rouge, they have a pay scale that's more of a sliding pay scale to help families, to help individuals, but it is all about helping each other. They've been around since the 50s. The executive director, Renee Taylor's been doing a phenomenal job for 13 years. I've been on the board for less than 6 months, and you know, we've had some issues with help and with fundraising. I mean, they've canceled all the fundraisers throughout the years, and we do have some major sponsors like Bancorp and Louisiana Lottery, Gilead Pharmaceuticals, but quite frankly, a lot of that's been drying up because it's just people aren't giving like they used to because people aren't working like we used to.
That's
so
right.
Here I am talking about a fundraiser.
It's a fun
fundraiser. That's right.
So tell us a little bit about what y'all have going on, what the event is, and the details of the event. I think you might have even brought some pictures or a little bit of video with you, because you always have some video with you.
Always bring video,
That's
right?
right, you do.
Nobody wants to see talking heads all the time. So there's a golf tournament coming up. It was supposed to be, I believe, last April, and so we postponed the golf tournament. You can see it on your screen, 8:30 in the morning on a Friday. Hopefully we'll have beautiful weather just like we've had lately. 8:30 at Copper Mill. That's in Zachary, Louisiana. These photos are from a few years ago. I couldn't find the recent ones, but you get the idea. Lots of fun, blue skies, and lots of food out there. Beverages. There's a lot of seafood we'll have out there this year. Refreshments, knickknacks, you name it, we'll have it out there. I think there's even adult beverages to help your game. But it is going to be a good time. Copper Mill's a great facility.
It is in Zachary.
In Zachary,
Yes.
right there at Copper Mill. I believe it's off of right there north of the old LTI.
Yeah. So I would say that maybe you need to get some of your girlfriends and guy friends together that play golf, or maybe haven't taken off in a while, who just might want to get together and have a good time and challenge each other, because the teams are only $400 a team, $100 a player, and really just about anybody that goes and plays golf, they're going to spend that in a day. And this includes food and a lot of other things, but the money is going to stay in the 7 parish area, helping people who really do need it.
That's exactly right. The money helps the programs, the domestic abuse, the child rehab, as far as the crisis intervention and things of that nature. So it does stay with the nonprofit. But again, $100 for to play basically is really cheap. A lot of these golf tournaments have upped their antes to $500, $600. This one's still at $400. Whole sponsorship is only $100, so that's pretty cheap. And look, it costs $50 to get out to Copper Mill and play that course. You're eating $30, $40 worth of food. There's prizes, there's raffles, there's entertainment. I mean, it'll be a good time had by all. And so I think it's a great opportunity to go out, help this nonprofit, help Family Service of Greater Baton Rouge, and improve your golf game.
So I'm not a really good golfer at all. If you give me like 20 tries, I can eventually get it to the green. I can chip, I can putt, but it's everything in between. But I tell you what I'll do. I challenge every single viewer to buy a hole, because it's okay if you have more than one sign on a hole. I'm going to buy a hole for $100. Okay, because I am not a good golfer. However, I do challenge everybody who is a good golfer to get some of those people that you like to wager against. Have a good time on a Friday. You're probably going to try and get off work early if you can. But go out there and really support Family Services of Greater Baton Rouge, because it could be your family that needs this help. It could be your neighbor. It could be your grandchildren that need the services that are provided. It could be somebody that is in a situation they never planned to be in. Because I know, as we're going to be talking to John Price with the Irish Domestic Violence Center in a few minutes, they refer clients there. They refer clients there, and they're able to work through some of the things you need. You know, most of the people that are in situations that need help, they never plan that. It's not like you plan it where you're, planning your career or planning what you're going to do the next day. These are things that happen to you, and it's also a matter of dealing with it. You know, I know very few people that have not had some sort of counseling through a difficult time, and not everybody can afford it. And a lot of times they'll say, well, I don't really need counseling, or what they're really saying is, I can't afford counseling. And so Family Services of Greater Baton Rouge is a great opportunity to do that. So I challenge you to either sponsor a hole, to make a donation, or to just go out and have a good time. You're going to see smiling Bill Sherman. He's going to welcome you. He and the board are going to have a great time with you out there. And so Now, what's your golf score about now, Bill?
Well, I played at Copper Mill Sunday, actually, and the course is in great shape. So the greens are great. Weather's been fine. We've had a little rain, so everything, it's green. It's nice out there.
Yeah.
Would you ask me about my score?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the guys I played with, they all shot in the upper 70s, 80s. I was just a little north of that.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but the putting and chipping were good. It was the long storm. We're hoping to straighten that out by the time. And that's the good thing about a scramble, right? You don't have to be a good golfer. You just have to invite other good golfers with you, right? You have to have friends that can golf.
So for somebody who doesn't play golf a lot, tell me the benefit of the scramble. If I were to, find my clubs, which I did used to have some, and I went out there. So scramble, I just need like 3 other good golfers, right?
You need 3 other good golfers. And what happens is everybody tees off and you take the best shot. And so then everybody hits their second shot and you take the best shot. So the pressure's off. So if you're a good putter, they're going to rely on you for the putters. And so then low score at the end of the day, they tally them up. And they have all kind of prizes and gifts and different little competitions at the par threes, the closest to the hole. So they have all kind of little ways to win door prizes and so forth. So everybody's included. Everybody's a winner, Betsy, basically.
So I tell you what, I'll donate an extra $50 if you shoot below an 80.
If my team shoots below an 80?
Yeah.
All right. We can try to do that. Sure. We'll do that.
You're going to have to get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Practice between now and November 6th.
Yeah.
Get some other people to sign up on your team.
Well, and the interesting thing about golf is we keep our own score. So some people will pencil whip you, as they say. They may not beat you on the golf course, but they'll write down whatever they want to write down. And that's the good thing about this golf tournament, because there's none of that. This is an honest program.
Honest group. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there might be a couple of teams still open. So I think, maybe 4 or 5.
Oh, we have more than that. We actually have more than that. I think
Copper Mill can hold a lot of golfers.
Oh, we can hold a lot. I think we're looking for 20 teams, and we're just shy of that. So there's definitely room to sign up. And
it can always get bigger.
Oh, yeah.
It can always get bigger.
We can expand. I know we have a huge support staff running the golf courts out there, the drinks, the food. So it'll be a good time. It's on a Friday morning. If it's weather like this, it'll be a great day to be out the office.
So if you want to sign up for this golf tournament, then you need to go to www.fsgbr for Family Services of Greater Baton Rouge.org.
Correct.
Or you can call 225-927-9810. Tell them Smiling Bill challenged you to sign up for this golf tournament and see if we can't raise some money for Family Services of Greater Baton Rouge. It's really an important opportunity. And so we want to make sure that this is an opportunity people don't miss. And it's going to make a difference in the lives of people here in the Greater Baton Rouge area. So please do sign up. And we're going to be right back talking with John Price. We're going to become more aware of some of the things you can do to help those that find themselves in a situation of domestic abuse. So hang tight, hang with us. Debbie Traylor is going to be back in the next segment after John. So hang tight, because we're going to have a good time.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
I was diagnosed October 19th. I immediately started with a multitude of scans, and then I was having an 8-hour surgery. My biggest concern was my family and being able to see me come home every day and know everything is going to be okay. I felt comfortable that I was being treated by some of the best. There were some scary points along the way, but it's just kind of like been a little blip in the road.
Money, wellness, fun. Rocket Right Radio takes you all across Louisiana and the nation with guests who live life to the fullest.
I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
I'm Dr. Kay Solar.
You're gonna love it.
Join us every week when we cover
Everything under the sun.
Live and learn with the Wright sisters.
Politics.
health,
Music and entertainment.
local agnet.
Rocket Right Radio. You're gonna love it.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hey y'all, I'm Amanda Shaw. We all know Louisiana is as fun as all get out. So get out, take a road trip, and explore our state. Fill her up, then try a new restaurant that's as fun-loving as it is food-loving. Grab the family and take off for monumental adventures at our 21 state parks. Or take a magical minivan tour along our 19 scenic trails and byways. Louisiana's a trip. Take one today.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Plan your road trip at LouisianaStaycation.com.
And welcome back to Rock It Right. I am Hurricane Betsy Barnes, the good kind of hurricane, one with a lot of ideas and connections and stuff like that, not the bad kind of hurricane like we've suffered through. And Dr. Kay Solar is not with us tonight because she's in Nashville, so we'll be catching up with her when she comes back next week. But we're very excited to have John Price, the Executive Director of the Iris Domestic Violence Center, with us. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
I appreciate it, because this is Domestic Abuse Month.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Yeah.
Yes. So abuse, violence, it's all bad.
Yeah, it's all bad.
So you've been on our show many times. We were on radio. So
Yes.
thank you for coming so we can share this in a broader area, because this will reach 22 parishes, state line to state line. And there's a lot of people under a lot of pressure, going through a lot of difficulty right now in our state.
Right.
And sometimes we don't always handle it in the best way. And so you provide a lot of different services that make a big difference. So tell us a little bit about the Iris Domestic Violence Center, what you do. And we were talking with Bill Sherman, and
Yeah.
they're referred, a lot of clients are referred
Correct.
through family services to you.
Yeah, the Iris Domestic Violence Center is a domestic violence service agency. We provide services to individuals who are suffering domestic abuse, family violence, dating relationship violence. Any of those are all under the umbrella of domestic abuse. So we provide services to those individuals who are suffering from domestic abuse. We provide a 24-hour crisis line, 24-hour safe house sheltering. We provide information, advocacy, and referral services for any of those individuals. We provide individual and group counseling. We offer legal advocacy and a representation in any court hearing within our 7-parish service area where you're seeking a protective order against an abuser. So we cover not only East Baton Rouge and West Baton Rouge, but both Felicianas, Point Capee, Iberville, and Ascension. So we have a 7-parish service area. And those services are provided non-discriminatory. They're provided for free. They're provided confidentially. So all we are asking is that individuals out there who think they may be in an abusive relationship or know someone who may be in an abusive relationship, we want you to give us a call at 389-3001. That is our 24-hour crisis line. Trained advocates and case managers man those phones at all times, and we can provide you with assistance when you need it.
So for those people that are going through, living through, counseling a friend through, a relative, thinking about getting out of a relationship, you might be saying, well, this is kind of a negative topic. This topic doesn't make me feel good. Well, let me make you feel better. This is about redemption, this is about recovery, and this is about changing the life of the children and the people involved in those situations. This is not a generational curse that has to be perpetuated. You can get the kind of help that you need for free to be able to change the life of generations going forward. And that's what's so important. Like, whenever I hear anything about this topic, it gives me hope for people that find themselves in those situations.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. It's not a sexy topic. It's not a happy topic. The results are where you find the joy.
Yeah, and you've had me on the program before, and we
Yes.
spoke to that. It's a very sobering and somber topic. In 2019, 12 people in East Baton Rouge Parish lost their lives as a direct result of domestic abuse and violence. One person in West Baton Rouge Those were the 13 people in the 7 parishes that we serve.
In 1 year?
In 1 year. But that was down from the years before. As a state, we have a horrific record.
I think I heard we are the #1 highest in murder rates of pregnant women in the United States, which is insane to me.
I can't speak to the pregnant part, but I can speak to the idea that for 5 or 6 years, we actually led the nation in the number of homicides where men kill women. In 2018, the last year of the statistics that they just released, we were 5th. So we have improved, but
that number can change quick.
It can change quick, but our number and the average in Louisiana, which was 2.2, was 77% higher than the national average. So it's not a safe place for women. And agencies such as the Iris Domestic Violence Center around Louisiana, and there are 14 other agencies like mine, we provide the services and we provide the community engagement. We want to get out there as far as community awareness is concerned so people can recognize the signs of domestic abuse and family violence, and maybe we can avoid having those kinds of numbers.
So let's say that a young man or an older man, he may also be the victim of domestic violence, but maybe he sees his own behavior as needing some counseling and help. He needs to make a change. He doesn't want to continue this behavior. He can also get help as well.
He can get help. He may not be able to get it directly from my agency. The funders of my agency are strictly devoted to survivors of domestic abuse. But there are programs, absolutely, and there are programs that have been available in Louisiana, particularly Judge Laura Prosser, just retired from the Baton Rouge City Court, but she had her own impact court, basically, where batterers could go undergo an intervention and go through a 26-week program or a 52-week program, I think it was, where they could, in fact, get the kind of help and counseling that they need. Iris focuses solely upon the victims, and domestic abuse does not discriminate against men or women or races or ages. It cuts through all. And so we provide our services to men, to women, to children, whomever is a victim that qualifies for our services.
Well, you have a new facility, and it's a confidential location,
Correct.
but this is a huge improvement.
Yes.
Over the previous, much smaller facility.
Yeah, our history actually begins back in 1981 when Mayor Dumas at that time had a commission on women, and the #1 problem that was identified by women was abuse and battering. And we were formed at that time as the Battered Women's Clinic, and that was the name that they used for many years. The women's movement was just beginning, and we've gone from that time forward, so we're right at 40 years old. We've been in the same facility for probably 25 years. And yes, the facility for safety purposes and confidentiality is a confidential location, but we have been fortunate in the last year. We've now moved to a much more modern facility and a much larger facility, and we did that in the midst of COVID-19, which was its own challenge.
A challenge.
Yes.
So how has COVID-19 kind of impacted Iris's services?
Well, one of the things about domestic abuse is that it's a cycle of violence that typically occurs where an abuser will act out against an individual, and with time, those acting out and those acts of violence become more frequent in intensity and more intense in the violence and more frequent. And so with COVID-19 and the social restrictions and stay at home, you had so many abusers at home with their victims.
And children.
And their children. And that didn't make for a very good mix. We did not have a lot of calls at the beginning, and I think we've been able to identify that victims who were staying at home with their abusers couldn't find the time alone to make a call to inquire as to whether or not they were being abused or what their situation was or what course of action they should take.
Sure.
But we have had an increase in the number of calls. We've had an increase in the number of acts of violence, I would say. I've done a couple of press conferences with the Baton Rouge Police Department and in association with the Sheriff's Department and the District Attorney with regard to trying to curb that violence. And thankfully, all of the elected officials in East Baton Rouge, from Mayor Broom, Sheriff Gautreau, police chief, everybody has been very, very supportive. Hiller Moore's office, we all work together as far as being able to provide those services. And Baton Rouge will, of course, open up the Capital Area Family Justice Center within a couple of weeks.
Yes.
And that is a very big event and a very big news and good news for us.
That is good news.
Yes.
So let me ask you about, you recently lost a longtime board member,
Yes.
Sylvia Dukes, who's also very involved with Bingle Bells, supporting the LSU Academic Athletic Center.
Yes.
She was really just a dynamic person. So we want to at least recognize the fact that that is a loss.
Yes, Sylvia is a longtime board member of IRIS, probably our longest standing board member, and I could not give you the quote on how many years, but sadly we lost her on Sunday. We had our first board meeting last night, and her absence was visible to us. We actually lit a candle on her behalf and had it there. Sylvia had a wonderful life that we were celebrating.
Yes.
She was the epitome of the woman who would uplift others. She could have chosen not to do any of those things, but through her dedication, her determination, her giving and loving spirit, she was involved in so many activities, but she served the IRIS domestic violence as well as anyone could. And we are deeply at a loss for her leadership and her love and her care for all of us there. She will not be replaced.
Yeah.
But our hearts are grieving, and our prayers go out to her family and her friends, and we've had an outpouring of love, not only from Baton Rouge, but from the entire United States with the people and the lives that she touched.
Wow.
So,
Well, there's a reason you're wearing purple.
yes.
And we only have a minute, but
Yeah.
tell people about wearing purple for
Yes.
October, and then how people can reach out to you
Sure.
and get more information to support IRIS as well as get help.
Yeah, the color purple is associated with domestic violence as its awareness, just like pink is with breast cancer. October's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. COVID-19 has restricted our ability to provide all of the events that we do. Go to our website at www.stopdv.com, and you will find our Paint the Town Purple initiative that's going on. We're doing virtual fundraising like everyone else because we rely upon that funding in order to fill the gap and for us to provide those services. So I'm asking you to go out there. If you or anyone else that you think is suffering from domestic abuse, 389-3001 is the number to contact IRIS Domestic Violence Center.
And this segment has been brought to you by Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center. And thank you so much, John Price, for being with us. We look forward to supporting you and your efforts through IRIS.
As always, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
All right, Betsy.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. I've had my fair share of experiences with disasters, and I know Louisiana's helping one another is as much a part of our culture as gumbo and Mardi Gras. When it comes to disasters, you can help your community most by getting trained as a volunteer to help with the disaster recovery. For more information about this, visit the websites below and be prepared.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.
Surprise, something good has finally happened in 2020. Yours truly, the Clarence Bugg Show, gets to be with you every day of the week. That's right, 11 to 12 every weekday. And of course, the Exiles right in front of yours truly from 10 to 11, yours truly 11 to 12. So now it's appointment viewing. 5 days a week here on the Pelican. The Clarence Bugg Show. The only thing missing is you.
Hi, I'm Tony Acord with Southern Heirs Auction, Dental Springs, Louisiana. My name is Tony Acord with Southern Heirs Auction Company in Dental Springs, Louisiana. We've been professional estate liquidators for over 30 years. Please take time to join us for our weekly online sales on Facebook. If you need help, hit us up. We are often imitated but never duplicated. www.southernheirs.com or Facebook at Southern Heirs Auction. 500, but a good 4, but a good 300, a good 200, a good 2. I got 100 and a half, 170.
I had a meeting with Dr. Barfield, and it kind of just hit me. It probably is cancer. After the surgery, I wasn't scared anymore. I was looking forward to getting started with chemo. Not one time did I get a nurse in a bad mood. I was here for 5 hours at a time, and I did not dread coming. To get people from around the country to come to Baton Rouge, that says a lot right there. That this place is cutting edge.
Welcome back to Rock It Right. We are so glad that you decided to hang with us and have a good time. I'm really looking forward to sharing with you some great news from my friend Debbie Gautreau Traylor. But first, I want to thank our amazing sponsors. We have been so blessed, and we're so grateful for our sponsors continuing, and then new sponsors coming on. So I want to thank Partners One for being our studio sponsor, Better Barter for Baton Rouge, our newest sponsor, City Group Hospitality Group, that is Rouge Creole, City Slice, City Pork Catering, and their newest restaurant, Beau Soleil in Bocage Village. I also want to thank Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts. Advantage Health Solutions has been our sponsor for over a year. If you or anyone you know need help with opioid or heroin addiction, it crosses all boundaries, you need to contact Dr. Boyd Michael Helm with Advantage Health Solutions, and we're going to share his information on our Facebook page for Rock It Right. Also, Mary Bird Perkins, Our Lady of the Lake Cancer Center, thank you for being a sponsor for years now. Southern Heirs Auctions and Tony Acord, as well as LouisianaTravel.com. LouisianaIsATrip.com is what you need to look at to figure out where you want to go in Louisiana for your next vacation, and Volunteer Louisiana. So I'm so excited to have Debbie Gautreau Traylor, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, world traveler,
pageant winner.
I mean, and it's so funny, in talking with you, we found out that we knew each other back in the day.
Absolutely.
Way back in the day. But Debbie is the reason we even have our show on Pelican Broadcasting, because her husband and Bert Carson, who own Pelican, they actually were listening to Debbie's good advice that our radio show might translate well to TV.
Absolutely.
And it has been a joy ever since. And thank you so much. I thank you every time I see you.
You've been awesome.
Yeah, but I love it. And we have been sharing so many good people with other people around Louisiana who right now, many are stuck at home for various reasons, but it's just so important. And so one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on is we wanted to talk about the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame and where you want to go with that, and the song and video that you just launched, and some of the things that you've done through your career. I just think people need to be aware that Debbie Traylor, if you saw Debbie Traylor singing with Head East or Through the Years, gosh, you just had an amazing
Eddie
career.
Money, Hart, Kansas, Pat Benatar, Kenny Chesney,
all our favorites.
Toby Keith.
Yeah, all our favorites.
Yeah. Lawrence Welk, Porter Wagner, way back when, John Fred and the Playboys, he signed me to a record deal when I was 12 years old.
12 years old.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
So, the first time I ever sang this song, a friend of mine, which is like a second mother to me, and she said, Deb, this song is for you, and so I want you to sing it. And I did a lot of things with Woody Dumas and all the mayors, opening up things, doing benefits. I love doing those things. So I heard y'all talking about benefits and stuff like that, so we need to do a lot more of those. And I know my musician friends are really just struggling out there. And so that's why I'm into doing the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. We are in search right now, thanks to you and Mr. non-guesser that we are pretty close to a building and having our dream come true.
But the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame is really iconic when you look at all the different people. I mean, it's phenomenal, the number of people that, I mean, Elvis Presley on down. I mean, just for years and years and years, so many different people have come through, impacted, been from Louisiana. The list is expansive. I mean, it's really longer than we could even go through. And so if you go to Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, you can see some of those people that have been awarded, and many of those I know, the more recent ones. And so you have stayed in touch with friends with a lot of the big names as well as a lot of the local musicians, and kind of kept them connected through the Hall of Fame relationship.
With John Fred, he introduced me to a lot of some of the iconic older people that we don't recognize as much. We would go in the studio and there would be Howard Coward that would play. He played with the Bee Gees and did some other things, and Randy Jackson, who played with Michael Jackson, and LaRue, Irma Thomas, and so he kind of introduced me into all of that. But in 1976, for Bicentennial, the Freedom Train, Mayor Woody Dumas called me and asked me to sing on the Capitol grounds, and we had the honor guard there, and I was in my red, white, and blue outfit.
We love some red, white, and blue.
Oh yeah, this has been one of my signature songs. I didn't write it.
And you're talking about United States of America.
United States of America.
And we do have a video of that we're going to show in just a second.
Right.
But so you sang that then on the Freedom Train.
Exactly, and they did a time capsule at that point in time of everything that we did. And for Bicentennial, I guess, I don't know how old I'm going to be, but they're going to re-put out the CD. And also, I was on the front page of the paper in front of the state capitol singing United States of America. And it's really, really about what we're fighting for today.
Right. So we often talk about how important it is for people to vote, women to vote. It makes such a difference. If you want to think about what you can do for your children and your grandchildren, go vote, because women didn't have the right to vote 100 years ago. We just passed on August 18th. The 19th Amendment was ratified into the U.S. Constitution. And so for 100 years this year, women have had the right to vote. Now, we're from Louisiana, so we've always had an opinion, right?
Right.
So we don't really keep our opinions too much to ourselves. However, it doesn't do any good to have an opinion if you're not going to go vote. It's great to say what you're going to say, but go vote and let your voice be counted. We have over 3 million people registered to vote. I'm hoping all 3 million in our state will go vote. Now, we have 4.5 million people in the state.
Right.
But only a little over 3 million are actually registered to vote. And I checked that, and that's of October 1. So it's time, ladies. It's time, gentlemen. Let's go vote and have some pride in our country and where we go, because the amendments that are on the ballot are everything from the language about right to life, all the way through how oil and gas rigs are assessed, all the way through spending limits on what you can spend in a federal disaster. So it's your money, your family, it's all that. So it's important.
And I think if you think about your children, just like you have one son, I have one son, that you think about them and you think about their future and the grandkids' future. I mean, this whole song talks about just loving America.
Loving America. There's nothing wrong with loving America, and everybody here has the same constitutional rights. And so we want you to go vote for who you believe would be the best caretaker of all the wealth and all of the resources and all the opportunities and all the future lives of the children in our country. That's really what we're talking about. Because this is going to change a generation.
Absolutely.
Whatever happens in this next election is going to change a generation.
We have to do it.
We need to make sure that you're really informed about not only the amendments, also about sports betting in Louisiana, parish by parish, that'll be a vote, but also 6 congressional seats, 1 Senate seat, President of the United States. So it's just important that everybody go vote.
It's about what's right.
Right. What's
not
right.
which political side.
Yeah, it's not about
What's
a party.
right.
It's about
Exactly.
it's about a future.
Exactly.
You know, so I really think people would like to see the video.
Oh,
do you want to go ahead and
great.
play the video?
Yes, I'd
so
love
it takes
to.
a couple of minutes. It's a great video, and you just put this out recently.
About 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So it went up on Facebook. We've shared it. I don't even know how many people have liked and shared it now. It's got to be 8,000, 10,000 or more. I mean, it's really gone viral, so it's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
And you didn't write the song, is that
I
correct?
didn't write the song, but I've been singing
But you performed
it.
the song since 1976.
1976.
Okay, so let's take a watch and look at Debbie Traylor's
I
song.
worked in your fields this morning. I've traveled your highways today. Used a creek and a rainbow for a road map, and a tree for a chapel to pray. I'm so proud to sing your praises and to live in the land of the free. I'm just one of your children who loves you. Your home, sweet home to me. United States of America, where I can be whatever I can be. Free to think as I choose, right or wrong, win or lose, where my only limitation is me. United States of America, I believe in the red, white, and blue. And I thank you for all you've done for me. And I'll do my best for you. United States of America, hallelujah, we love you. And as a citizen of my country, I believe it is my duty to obey your laws, to try to be a worthy individual, a positive example, and a productive and responsible citizen, to be informed and concerned about our nation's affairs, and to voice my beliefs constructively, to practice diligently an attitude of brotherly love and hold no hatred against anyone. And if one of my brothers makes a mistake, be he peasant or president, I will try to treat him as I would want to be treated, with compassion and understanding. And I will continue to be proud to pay taxes for the opportunity to live in the greatest nation in the world, a nation born out of faith in God and sustained only if that faith and the support of the American people remain strong. United States of America, hallelujah, we love you. United States of America, hallelujah, we love you.
Debbie, for
God.
bringing that. Every time I get chills every time. If you want to see that and share that, go to Debbie Gautreau Traylor on Facebook. Go share that video, share it with your family and friends, and just remember, if you're gonna rock it, make sure you rock it right. We'll see you next week.
Since the early 1800s, the Selassie family has played a significant role in the retail industry in Louisiana. Stuart Selassie has achieved the Certified Diamond Graduate designation from the prestigious Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you, whether it's appraisals, design, build, repair, or diamond sales, you have an expert you can count on. At Selassie's, you make all the right choices. Selassie Jewelry and Fine Gifts in the heart of the Denham Springs Antique District. Find them on Facebook.